Geologic Safety Committee meeting is called to order at 10 o'clock. Thank you. And we need to take notes in case Pat doesn't come. She's supposed to be here.
So is Pat and going to be here or,
Steve is in Japan.
okay?
He will be back in, I think, at the end of September. The October meeting, I think. Okay. What was that? Okay.
I don't know. Oh,
Okay. Is your microphone?
it is now.
Yes. Okay, so we're recording and we're starting at 10:01. So if there is anyone, is there anyone online? I'm not signed in here.
I'm on. Else, yeah. In my
Okay.
turtle mode this morning, looking more distinctly like a turtle than usual.
Okay,
Mm.
okay. I don't see anyone online join. Sorry, I'm trying to join the meeting here. Okay, so I don't see anyone else, just three of us. Okay, good. So we'll skip oral communications and go to. Pardon? Oh, we didn't do roll call. Okay. Should we do roll call? Yes. Okay.
Here we go.
Gary,
Here.
Bob,
I'm here.
Dan is here, and Steve and Pat are not here. Oh, you're taking notes. Thank you. Okay. Okay.
I'm
All
gonna,
right. So
I'm gonna close the back door just.
okay. So oral communications are closed. Let's go to old business. And that is, whoops, I forgot something. And that is that we need to approve the minutes from the
Yeah.
April 14th meeting.
So moved.
Okay, do I have a second? Approval of minutes from April 14th on page 2.
I second them.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Motion passes and the meeting minutes of April 14th, which is our last meeting date, are approved. All right, now on to old business. I'm on page 3 of the agenda packet. Oh, there is Pat. Okay, Pat has.
Good morning, Pat. Good to see you. Back from Italia and various other climes.
French Alps.
Swiss Alps.
You went to Swiss Alps?
Ja, zwei Jahren in der Zeit. Ja. Natürlich.
So thank you, Pat. We just approved your minutes from April.
Whereabouts were you in the Alps? Oh, in the French part.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
The meeting was
Sorry.
in session, so, excuse me. We just approved your minutes from April 14th. So,
Oh, I thought there was a meeting.
no, we had to cancel it. Yeah. Okay, so we're now on old business, and membership is an ongoing issue. We do need new members. I haven't talked to anyone. I've got 4 possibilities, but I don't think any of us knows any of them except for one. No, actually 2. We have 2. But there are 2 others. There are 2 hydrologists working for private firms, geotechnical firms, who are in town, and we could possibly contact one of them. Pat, you said one is across the street.
So, yeah, could you run through the?
Okay, I should have brought the names. One is, Peter Lipman, of course, who has turned me down twice.
Hmm.
So I don't hold high hopes for him.
Hmm.
The second is, and I keep forgetting his name, he lives in Ladue. And, pardon? Paul Heipel, yes, thank you. Okay, so Peter Lipman,
How do you spell his last name?
Heiple. Paul Heipel. And then there are two hydrologists, and I've forgotten their name. One lives across from Pat, and the other is, I think, on Minoka. They're in town, so there are possibilities. She's on Minoka? No, they don't have her name. Pardon, you have to speak into the microphone. Do you have a microphone? No. Okay. What, Pat? Has anyone talked to
Vera.
Stephanie? No. Do you know her at all?
No, I just knew she lives across the street.
Okay. So how to proceed? Do we just cold call? Pardon? I can't. Pat talked to, no, Pat did not talk to Vera. That Pat should talk to Vera. Yeah, it's a possibility. I can call, if anyone knows Peter Lipman better than I do. Would you be willing? So, okay, so, thank you. So Mary, Peter, Pat, we're going to get Vera, just knock on her door.
I prefer that you do it it's better. I have no,
Say it again, I'm sorry.
I prefer that you contact her as president of
Okay,
the meeting. I don't
Alright.
have any leverage over her. So
Okay.
we don't hate each other.
oh, you're not, okay. So I guess I'm comfortable talking to Paul Heipel. Pardon? I can't-
He never wanted to do it.
He doesn't? Does not? I asked him once years ago and he didn't say no. So
Peter Lipman, is that who we're talking about?
we can pause.
Is it Peter
Paul
Lipman?
Heipel.
No, Paul lives in Ladera.
Oh, I don't know.
Hydrologist?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's his specialty?
He majored in geology and was in petroleum
Okay.
for a while, and then he decided to become a biologist.
Hmm.
Okay. I'll call him. Vera, I will. If you can give me her address, Pat,
Okay, I'll track it down.
can you check and tell me where she lives, then I can
Yeah, I'll track it down.
try to.
Lives on Courtamadoon.
Okay. All right, we'll see if we can get someone to join us. It'll be helpful to have one more person. Okay,
Today, we're just missing Steve.
we're missing Steve, just.
That's the only
Steve. Yes,
person.
that's right. Okay, so you're taking notes now? Bob was starting.
I'll just keep
Okay.
going.
Work, we don't need double notes. I don't want you to do duplicate work. Is Pat's taking notes?
Well, I can take him. Bob's more meticulous than me, but we'll free you up to be.
Either one.
I was gonna make my own notes.
Okay.
Okay.
So keep going then.
Right.
Pat, okay, you have the official notes. We started at 10:01. Okay, now I wanted to talk about what we're actually doing, what we want to do. And I listed the projects we have started, called it ongoing projects. And my question is whether we're trying to do too much. Are we spread too thinly? What should we really be concentrating on in the year? Okay. So the first item I have is updating the geologic and ground movement potential map. And finally, the council in its wisdom has granted us budget for a meeting with with John Wallace from Cotton Shires, who's our. So we should be prepared, and I'm thinking when everyone is back, as soon as everyone is back, to set up a meeting with him to look at um, look at the changes he has already proposed for the map, the new map. And he says he has a whole laundry list of them. And to talk to him about the faults, about Black Mountain,
Okay.
Barrow faults, how they should be treated on the map. Okay.
So the town geologist would. Steve is back in October.
Pardon?
Steve is back in October, is that correct?
He said the end of September, September 20 something. You are not going to be here in October, right?
No, I leave October 24th.
Oh, you will be here for the October meeting,
I'm checking yeah, I think so.
which comes before the 24th. Okay, so why don't we aim for October for setting up a meeting with Cotton Shire?
And then he will walk through the planning to do to the town maps.
And then, yes, and then we should bring him up to date on the work we have done and discuss
Okay.
whether the Black Mountain and Barrow fault should on the map. Well, Barrow is partially on the map. Okay.
Good.
Okay. One encouraging thing is that our new town has a bachelor's in, I don't know whether it's earth science and is it earth science exactly? From Stanford, right?
Mhm.
And then she has a master's in urban planning.
Hmm.
So she has had geology and she understands the situation.
Regional setting.
Yeah. So,
So she's our new town manager?
yes,
Interim town.
no, she absolutely new, hired, and we hope she will be.
What's her name again?
Darcy, Darcy, I believe, Smith.
What's her last name?
Smith. Yeah. Okay.
Could you spell her name, her last name again? I think I've seen it in the almanac, but I've probably forgotten.
SMITH.
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 Huh. Wow, that was a tough one.
I tell you what.
Urban.
Okay, so I've committed to writing up what we've done on the Barrow and Black Mountain faults so that we have something to show
Mhm.
John Wallace. And I'll get that to him in advance of the meeting. And I'll ask him for his list of changes. Now, his changes, I believe, have gone through the planning. Mary, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the staff has the list of changes to the map, even itself hasn't been updated. Is that right? Don't, pardon? Don't know? Okay. Hope so. but we certainly need new maps at this point. It's,
So say that again. The town geologists
okay,
proposed changes have already been approved.
okay, okay. The,
Council?
okay, if you want to build in a way that triggers a geotechnical investigation, not everything does. Need a you hire, the homeowner, will hire the firm and get the report, and then the town's geologist reviews the report, peer reviews the report, and reports to the planning commission what his findings are.
Right. My
Okay.
question was, did I hear you say that the geologists want have already been approved?
By the planning commission, yeah,
Planning commission?
yeah,
That's all.
yeah. I haven't ever known the planning commission to um, question the um, the town geologist's decision on that. Uh. So, all right, anything else on that? Anyone have any thoughts? Rita, microphone.
With all the recent activity, if this group in your spare time can do anything to educate the public, the children, the old people, the middle schoolers, everyone about what this is mean to us. I know you're focused on business, but some of that might fill this room sometimes.
Educate, okay, in particular about what?
Well, there was the earthquake in Russia a few weeks ago,
Kamchatka Peninsula.
Kamchatka, yeah.
and then there was the next one, and then there was the volcano. But just people talking about how one thing leads to another thing, how leads to another thing, and what that might for us. Because you see that information,
Yeah,
and for a kid, they think we're next. So just some education around that, and what does that mean? That would be wonderful, because I think any of you could do it very nicely for the community.
communication. Okay. Thank you. Any thoughts about the maps? Geologic. Go move it.
Yeah, I completely agree that you need to get his. Because if you only have enough for 2 hours or 3 hours or as a follow-up meeting, having that information ahead of time so that all of you can review it and do your checkpoints before you start,
Yeah,
that would be
exactly.
cost
Know
effective.
what he said.
Thank you.
And also him having information and then perhaps email, making sure he actually read it before the meeting.
Yeah. If that helps,
Yeah.
thank you. Um. Okay. All right, Mary, any thought about updating the maps? I'm still on the maps.
I don't understand what you said so far.
You don't understand
What you said so far about what was done.
what has been done is, you understood what I said about an individual homeowners who needs a geotechnical investigation, gets one, right? Hires a firm to do the trenching or boreholes or whatever needed. Writes a report, submits it to the town. The town sends it to Cotton Shires, who does a peer review on it and sends back comments. Those two reports, the original peer review from Cotton Shires, go to the planning commission, and planning commission decides whether the project proceeds out or whether modification.
But we don't get those things.
We don't, no, we do not. That's right. And as a technical matter, the Cottonshire officially the keeper of the maps.
Right.
So, which is,
So when he
Okay.
presents his proposed changes, is that an open meeting? He submits it in writing?
oh, you mean one at a time? Yeah.
I'm just,
Oh, I'm sorry. He said the whole, the project goes before the planning commission once the both report. And then they,
right, no, my question's different. So
okay.
when he tells the planning commission, these are the changes, is it possible for us to get a copy of that document or, recording of that meeting?
That's public, yeah. In fact, there was just one last, and I sent in a written comment on it ahead of time. Not as, I can't comment as a member of this committee, but I can comment as a, does something about the maps and geology. So I did that, and we had a really, they had a really nice conversation because it wasn't absolutely clear what to do. And the staff had missed an important point that needed to be on the map.
And for you, the changes you want to present are specifically the Barracal and Black Mountain. So
Yeah.
geologic evidence that these,
Yeah, historical and geological.
so that's the main issues that as a committee we'll be addressing with him.
Exactly. And I think that we should look at his list of proposed changes, and if we think anything is agreed, we should speak up. But probably nothing will be. The last time there was such a meeting was in 2014. And at that point, Bob and Chet presented their paper, the BSSA paper on the exact position of the San Andreas Fault.
Right.
Okay.
And Bob, you don't want to talk about the Hermit Fault with the town geologist.
I don't know that I can get ready by to do that. I mean, I'd like to talk, well, first of all, we weren't supposed to talk about the Hermit Fault when the project was under review, but my understanding is that now that it has all been approved, there is no restriction on us to be able public discussion. We've never had private discussion. We can now have public discussions. My father and I had written a report about the fault area, and it was not, the John Wallace did not agree with our findings. I feel that that report was partly, it only partly documented another report needs to be written. I don't think it's going to change the permitting process, but there's a lot of geologic information that's explained. So whether I can get that done before October is a whole thing, considering all the other stuff that I'm working on. Just to backtrack a little bit, talking about changes to map, just information for the public and community. I'm working on a map of just the property of Christchurch property, because they want to consider adding a building on the property. And the map itself that I'm making includes the town center, most of the town center. And I wanted to add as a layer the town's geologic map, and all kinds of cartographic problems with the ground movement potential. Specifically, they all seem to hinge on where the fault crosses And it's clear that the map is wrong. One good example is that if you take the center line of the ground movement potential map and then you go 100 feet away as you're supposed to by regulations, where they put the center line, on the map, that 100-foot boundary goes through the library. But if you actually move it a little closer to where it should be, then everything works. The library is not in kind of violation. I would just call it, well, there's all kinds of problems, and it just seems like we need to be more careful, especially with approving what they do, because there's two maps. There's the geologic map, ground movement potential map, numerous problems. And so we're going to review that when we,
You're talking about the exact location of the
yeah,
faults, but you're not talking about
we're talking about the San Andreas. It's a street over
Yeah.
there.
Not-
Yeah,
1906 trade,
Yeah.
but that might be worth presenting.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's,
Exactly.
I mean, specifically, to not make it seem like not just being crazy. There's great photographic evidence in 1906 relative to the house. And if you compare that place to where they put it on the map, it's clearly the map has moved it like 15 feet away from the house, further than it should be, which caused all kinds of, so this is a situation where the devil's in the detail. Because the map itself is as a scale, just a little tiny change in the line makes a big difference. Maybe I'm just being picky about details, but that's really what a map should be about, getting the details right.
Well, our map is at a scale of what? 1 to 24,000 or 1 to 10?
Something like that.
24?
Have to look it
don't know.
up.
I should know that. Yeah, so scale makes a difference. Scale at which you're mapping. Something that looks right on a, 1 to 100,000 map is,
Oh, yeah.
completely different on a 1 to 10,000. So, okay, so that would be definitely worth talking about.
So
Thank you.
I see that we're going to have I anticipate that we're going to have a list of requested changes. Would like to have being one of them. The other, just a minor thing, is that just minor, but it's the boundary between Portola Valley and Woods across the street, and it was completely, they got it right on the geologic map. The line work, ground movement potential map, it's proved was a draft because it doesn't work.
Okay, could you please?
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is important. And maybe this is just nitpicking, but one thing that really bothers me is that Cottonshire is responsible for both the woods and they're supposed to dovetail, but the Portola Valley map is done with a topographic base, plain topographic base, that's fine. And the Woodside map is done with a satellite photo base, which obscures the topographic detail. And it's really, I find it really hard to read. You can see where the houses are, but from a geologic map point of view, it's less than ideal. And then the two maps look completely different at the boundary. So I don't know why they chose the other base map. So, okay, so is there anything? So we've got Black Mountain, Baracal, location of the San Andreas Fault here at the town center crosses the road,
Right?
and
That's it.
map boundary.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Bob, if Woodside's, would there be any distortion in the,
I think they're using ortho photo.
okay,
Hmm.
ortho,
Ortho
okay.
photo.
You were talking about having a goal of the meeting being in October. I'm okay with that, but I think that it would be that we should have for Cotton Shires d- done and know that it's done before the meeting gets formally established. Our material isn't ready before the meeting, then we're sort of um, hampering the process. Oh, but this is going to be, I assume,
I
starting
don't
of the
know how it's
process.
going to work out.
So we could use the September meeting of us to kind of review where we are, right?
We should do that. We should
That's-
have an, where are we? Are we
Yeah,
So Steve won't be here, but for September. But maybe we can send him materials ahead of time.
can Zoom from,
Yeah. Ask him to comment. Yeah. I'm sure he's busy.
Maybe I do have can I make a comment?
please?
I think we've looked pretty carefully at just now at the planning commission's notes and the modifications that they did. And everybody should look at that. Cotton Shires wrote a note to Jamie Bourne, the planner, of all the things that he wanted to correct on the map and why in that presentation. And that wasn't what was approved. What was approved is just the for that one lot that they were approving in Deer Meadow. So that was approved, but this other, which is his bigger picture, and scale of, lots of very detailed things that he wants to have us look at, I believe, and correct.
Okay,
We're going through planning commission handout so that you know what his concerns are.
so, okay, so was this,
Can send it to the,
please do.
it's public record. It's under the planning commission.
Where,
The letter was written on March 9th. Been around for a long time.
March 19th? When was this? Was that in the planning commission agenda?
It was in the packet, yeah. Planning commission packet
Okay,
from August.
I missed that. Okay.
So I have a question about process for this upcoming meeting that we're talking about with the Cotton Shires. I haven't done any of the homework of finding out what they want to, what's to be not changed to the map. Are we waiting for Cotton Shires to tell us? It sounds like we, by being aware of what the planning commission has approved, I think it would probably be best for us, especially myself, to just have a knowledge ahead of time of what they're talking about so that,
As I say, you need to look at the plan.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize that the list was out there. He told me months ago that he had a long list, but I didn't realize that he had actually communicated that to the planning department and the planning commission. Okay,
I mean, it looks like there's a lot of stuff that we should know before.
yeah, absolutely.
And it sounds like he's on your team, basically. It sounds like he wants to get the thing up.
Yep.
So it behooves you to reach out to him.
Yeah,
Good sign.
It says criteria, yeah. I mean, it's all
Okay.
very specific.
how many changes does he have? You have the list?
No.
Should be able to find it. Okay. Okay. Anyway, all right. Yes, absolutely. We Get the list. Um, can I send it to, you can send it to all of us, right?
It's public knowledge.
It's public. It's a public list.
On planning commission's
March 19th.
March 19th.
Okay.
meeting.
All right.
So it's easier for you to actually get it yourselves and it won't be me
Okay.
trying to pretend I know anything about geology,
Okay.
what's important and what's not.
Okay.
It sounds like the important thing is just having a knowledge of the link to this list and sounds like we have a homework assignment.
Yeah, I know. We all do. So we should all look at the changes very carefully and see what we think. See if there's anything that looks,
Changes
unusual.
are okay. The question is criticism of our plan and how it's up to date, which seems to dovetail with your concerns.
okay. All right. So. So I should email him and, um, just to start the process, communication with him. Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Mary. That's very helpful. Because I thought that we didn't have the complete list. We do. Okay. Good for you. Okay. So that's, um, perhaps the most important thing on our agenda. I'm going to skip for a second. The second most important is the safety element. The safety element, I think, will be coming up in the fall if we're lucky. Two members of the town council have taken it under their wing. So Craig Taylor and Rebecca Flynn are a subcommittee of the council charged with completing the safety element. And I think the plan is for them to include all the, which had been asked 3 years ago to comment, and that was for the draft of the safety element. We got a draft at the end of 22, I think, and it never got updated. So, yeah, Pat and I worked on the original comments, and there were 2 rounds for the draft. But nothing's been done since then, and we certainly have more information that we think needs to go into the safety element. So our thinking has since then, and we need to rethink exactly what we're going to say. So that's coming up maybe in the fall if we're lucky. What do you think, Mary? Timing for the safety element? Don't know? Okay. I'll see if I can find out timing. Okay. In the meantime, pardon? To talk to Craig. October? Okay. Thank you, Rita. Probably October then would begin.
Be ready for the. If you were ready, it would
Yeah.
help them.
Be very helpful. Just, yeah,
They're not, think you may have to start over.
exactly.
Stuff.
Yeah. So why don't we, for the September meeting, why don't we all look at what in the meeting, discuss what we had submitted originally and make an outline of changes that we as a committee, and then a subcommittee can work with the other subcommittees. Okay, I think we will need a subcommittee, maybe. But we'll have a subcommittee to work with the town council on getting the safe finished. Okay. Okay, note to self. Okay. So those are the two, I'd say, most important things that we need to do. Now, I also have, I'm back to my list of ongoing projects. The evacuation for fire following earth did a couple of years. We have the report, have the map that
Yeah.
unless there are major changes to it, we just leave the map as it is. And they are on the town website, but they're not, probably not searchable, not findable. So we need to set section under the Geologic Safety Committee where our output can be found. So we can do that. And I would personally suggest that we somehow incorporate the report or the summary of the report and the information in the map into the safety element. I'm not quite sure can be done because the safety element is really a higher level document. And this is in the details. So maybe that there's a link to the place on the town's website where these documents. Okay. Now Bob has been thinking for a long time about the next step for the evacuation maps. And he's been talking about going neighborhood by neighborhood. Now that was started years ago in a very, I don't know, not a very detailed way with photocopied maps of sections of neighborhoods and yellow arrows showing which way you're supposed to. And it's just, Bob, do you remember that? That's what's it's actually in the evacuation plan. But you were talking about doing a better job on the neighborhood evacuation.
Okay, so I'd like to take just a few moments to talk about, thank you for that introduction. I'd like to take a few moments to talk about what I think needs to be added to the event. So the map itself, I think, is pretty good, but most people don't know how to read a map or they want to. I think that what's really could be very helpful is to have I'll call it a pamphlet. Sometimes they're referred to reports that go along with the map, where the topic is to have little sections that describe details about the geologic hazards for each neighborhood. I'm thinking of dividing the town into sort of arbitrary neighborhoods based on things like, well, I'll just pick two examples, just to have something to talk about, not that they're important any more than any of the others, but there could be a chapter on just Willowbrook, because it's problems with San Andreas Fault on it, and explain all the geologic hazards that are associated with Willowbrook. The idea, if somebody lives on Willowbrook, they could read that little section and have text that tells them what is important that's on the map, and then having words that would that could be valuable. We could do the same thing with any other area, including areas that are outside of the town. For Los Trancos Wood, they all go through our town, but they have a lot of geologic hazards because through their neighborhood. There's Alpine Road and there's Los Trancos Road, and both of very vulnerable in a major earthquake. If we had another 19, essentially Los Trancos would be very difficult for them to evacuate by foot. There's a possibility that that could be what happened. Anyway, the point is, I think that we should have text. Doesn't have to be very long. I'm hoping that paragraphs at most sufficient for each little neighborhood, and have something that talks about parts of Westridge, go on and on. But I think that that would be the relevant to everybody.
it's really important that residents understand what the diverse hazards are living here. But I think there needs to be a very short section that says, how do we get the hell out of here if there is? And that is bereft of all the geologic part and has simply the sorts of things you have to do to up and go and not cause a traffic jam and that sort of stuff. Easier said than done. But that's what people are really going to want to zero in on and disaster strike. So we need at least a short paragraph that tells them how to stay calm. That's the very first thing. It's liable to go very fast. And people will start stacking up with their cars and one thing or another. So we need to make sure, first thing, they try to stay calm.
Okay.
So if we were to provide guidance on what to do after a major earthquake, neighborhood by neighborhood, but the earthquake itself blocks
Yeah.
the obvious, evacuation routes, then maybe it becomes a hazard in itself. You're telling people to take this road and that road's blocked, so maybe you have to.
Well, specifically, I wasn't thinking of actually telling them, well, we could tell them how to leave, but I was just trying to, my primary goal is to just explain with words, what is the geologic hazard that can cause problems with your ability to evacuate? Each little tiny part of the town has their own problems. And, but then you raised the point of, well, how do you evacuate? I'll speak just briefly for, we have Santa Maria, Hayfields and Wayside to me have similar problems. And I think that one section could, they essentially all have to go down to Port to go anywhere. They don't have any specific geologic hazards on their roads themselves that we've identified on the map, but they have the potential problems of trees being down. There are landslide problems. Then once they get down to Portola Road, the actual part of Portola Road, it's very possible that the Searsville is going to make the road impassable. Then there's the culvert crossing Saucel Creek, just a few 100 yards away from here. And then there's also Bull Run Creek Wayside at Valley Presbyterian Church. Hopefully the road, Portola Road, is going to be places. And sort of a brief description of, this is what you guys have to think about. It's very possible that they won't be able to go to Woodside because problems that are going to be severe over by where the San Andreas Fault crosses Searsville. Yeah, but then again, San Andreas Fault crosses the road almost across the street. They're blocked in. I mean, big 1906 quake is going to cross Portola Road up the both sides of the road that it may be possible that somebody who has a car that doesn't have very good, high suspension will be blocked, and they're just going to have to figure out something else. Get out of here. Well, those are the kinds of things that ought to be known ahead of time, and then people can plan accordingly, whatever decisions they're going to make.
Okay, well, this gets into the purview of the Emergency Preparedness Committee. Vic Schachter has, I guess a couple of years ago, prepared a list of areas of refuge within town. And that needs to be, I think that needs to be approved by the council or maybe by the fire district. But that, I mean, he's gone to the effort of finding places that places people could congregate if they can't get out of. And so it would be helpful to coordinate with them. I think we also need to contact the new town engineer. We have an actual town engineer to replace Howard.
Mhm.
Someone was actually hired, not interim, but permanently, I believe. Is that right, Mayor?
We have an excellent town engineer who's got his heart in the job, and he's doing his very best.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so we should let them know what we've been doing, what the issues, what we
Mhm.
found, and just bring him up to date and get him.
Yeah.
I have a
can
request to
work.
everybody in this. I met somebody that lives up on Skyline. I was told them about our map, and I've been out of town and haven't been able to. Um, this person asked for a copy of our evacuation map. I want to get the copy to them. Maps can be big, and using email attachments become very, well, sometimes it's not possible because limitations of email. So my question is, if anybody in the room has any knowledge about Google Maps or something else that makes something like that map available despite, because the map, excuse me, because the map is not on the town website, if there's a way that I could use something like Google Maps to somehow provide a way for other people to download it, I would love to be able to do that. I don't want to have a discussion in this how to do it. I'm merely asking if anybody has that information, talk to me after.
We could check Google, about Google Docs. The map is huge.
Yeah.
It's generally not emailable. It is on the town website, but I have no idea where it is. Put it somewhere.
So I know this person very much wants a copy. Copy. Make it happen.
Yeah.
So how big is big?
I have to look it up. But I'd like to talk about, well, I don't want to spend this meeting details of things like that, but the basic thing is trying to send people large documents. Ask some, if we could talk afterwards, that'd be very great.
Okay.
Who has an XY plotter though?
Pardon?
Who has a big XY plotter?
He just wants to do digital.
Yeah, I understand. Just to do it, well, look at it with your handheld device. That's not quite what you want to see. Well, anyway, it's a big, any problem involved here. I think local areas that could be sanctuaries for people to gather, really important. Dan has been saying, we need a lot of them. Because you don't know which ones will be available and useful, and which ones aren't.
Yeah.
It's really, it's very important to get out of this area before. That's what it boils down to. Really, it's terrible to say, but
Well, there's several quasi-public buildings with solar that would probably be somewhat self-sufficient. Town center,
mhm.
Mormondale School. So obvious place, functional.
Yeah,
Yeah, so for the people up on Hayfields, Woodside, I'm sorry, Wayside and Santa Maria, where would they go? If there's some open areas on Hayfield, would it be safe? I don't know.
No.
Okay. Anyway, so we're down in the weeds here. I've made a note for myself to contact Dick Schachter to get his list of sanctuary or refuge areas. And then that could be incorporated into the neighborhood documents that Bob was talking about. Okay. All right. Any other thoughts here? Oh, exhausted this topic. Okay. Next project is what we've been calling resilience. Seismic, geologic, ground hazard resilience. And we had PG&E talk and we had Water District talk. And so would we like to see if we can get someone from would that be, do you think that would be helpful or is that not necessary? Don't all speak at once.
Well, any new information would be helpful.
Okay.
I'd like to use this time to give a shout out to,
Redundancy.
Pardon?
Well, there may be some redundancy from the other ones you've had. But it still doesn't hurt to have more if if it's convenient and they can provide some useful information that would guide our planning. So I would say only be positive.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they don't have enough to,
I'd like to use this time because of the topic. Everybody know about some things that there's seems like a one-man company, Engineering Systems, Inc. Uh, they have a website where they've written books on all of the things that we are interested
Yeah.
in them. I think what they've done needs to be highly praised because the books are available in digital and they're extensive. And as an example, there's a whole book on fires following an earthquake. There's a book on the gas systems and the problems with gas systems following an earthquake. The whole point about fires following an earthquake dovetails with the information that California Water gave us. Yeah, there's a lot of really good information available for, and I really want to, I'm very grateful that here was, I have no idea how they funded it, but these books are, I don't know, almost 300 pages each. A lot of really good information. I was reading one of them just this morning about the problems of fires following an earthquake. And if you really are getting too much good sleep, you should read these books because you wake at night.
Yeah, a lot of
So
them
could you
have
repeat the name again?
G and E.
So the author's name, John, I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, Eidinger, Eidinger. John, and
He's,
his company is G&E Engineering Systems, Inc.
Eidinger spoke at the Northern California Earthquake Hazards Conference at the USGS 2 years ago, I think it was. And then he referenced his the online pamphlets or books.
Yeah.
And I did look them up at one point, but thought about that. You're right. Thank you. So we should all take a look at that. Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah.
your suggestion for what was,
West Bay Sanitary District. They have an engineer there. I don't know that that would be the right person to address this. I guess I would like to give this to Steve and have or make the contact.
Does anybody know when Steve will be?
Yeah, he
Back in the
says
US?
September 20th.
Okay.
So he should be here for the October meeting.
he has something, some other
Washington.
meeting, yeah,
Yeah.
in Washington. Can't win that.
I don't know. Seems like he was getting off of one plane and onto another.
Yeah, he's a member of the Academy. Up in DC.
He'll
That
be
was in
here
his
for-
email.
Will he be here for October?
I don't know.
Oh, right. Oh,
You have to
no.
go back to the email he sent.
Yeah,
He just kind of
Okay.
reminded us that he,
yeah. just confirm whether he will or not. Yeah, you're right, he gave it. I just remember September 20th, but there was
Right, but then he
something
said
after
that he's
that.
got this at a,
Okay. But then
I don't know
thought
if it
he said he'd be
interferes
back
with
for
us.
the-
Pardon?
Yeah, I think it's October 8th or something like that. Okay, that's right. Okay. Resilience. Okay, so Article 4, I'm on the last page here. As I said, earthquake safety, and I should say, and communication. Communications about earthquake safety. Now, Pat, you wrote an article forum, but it wasn't in the town newsletter. We should revive it and get it to the town newsletter. Do we want, okay, so
Oh, yeah.
this sort of dovetails with what Bob's been talking about. Do we want to, this would be interesting, if we published neighborhood information as a series of articles, and release them separately in the PV newsletter and
Do that.
so that people will look forward to their neighborhood when it comes up.
Okay.
What do you think? Release it serially? Chapter at a time?
I think that's a great idea, but given all the projects I'm working on, whether we do it as serially or all at once, the more important thing is getting something done.
But it doesn't have to devolve on you.
Well, no, but fine, but
necessarily.
but I also recognize always be made this point. Everything is going to be a work in progress. We're going to get something and we're going to say it's done, and that'll be like version 1. Well, there's probably going to be a version 2.
Yeah.
But the way that we work, or at least I work, cannot speak committee, but the way I work, I'm not able to make promises and predictions as to like, okay, I'm going to get version 1 done by this. Can't do it.
Okay, well, what do you think about communicating? We're the quiet committee.
Yeah, well, I haven't, the control that all of you have about the map, but that's the one I'm mostly concerned about, that the map get out eventually, because we've been worrying about it for a long time, and nothing is ever going to be perfect. We deal with probabilities, and in fact, somewhat unknown probability in terms of some of the geology. And we have to impart that to people while people thinking, well, they don't know for sure. Whoever knows very much of anything for sure, and especially in things like faulting and one thing and another, we need to let people know it's a high probability this will happen, but whatever it is, not as much as if you could kill crossing El Camino on foot. That would be much higher probability. We still do it. Well, I don't. But some people do. But I think that needs to be part of our message to people. This is the best constraints we have right now on those particular hazards generated by the faults and one thing and another.
Good
But
point.
we also need to let people how to deal with it in briefly as possible in some place, because most of the people won't read all of the stuff that we want them to know, even though it's to their advantage. Or if they will, they do it real early and then they can't handle this and put it away. But they will want to know, how do I find out how to get out of here, or at least save my family and myself.
Yeah,
Yeah, short and crisp with links for further information.
Yeah,
people can
Right,
track.
yeah, it's all well and good. Well, that we have the San Andreas Fault nearby, no wonder, very famous, or should I say infamous.
Yeah.
But really, they don't care where it goes, just so long as they get away from
And as long as it's not tearing their house in two.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Well, and expect services to be days to week.
Mhm.
No water, no, that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
Something that Sheldon Briner used to give talks on rare occasions. They were always well attended, in my opinion. And there was always a keen interest on what he talked about. And as a long-term goal, without putting any dates attached to it, uh, I would like to have as a goal to prepare for one or two talks to the community to help. Yes, I'm very pleased with the map that we've got so far, but there's a lot of other information. Forum where a presentation is made and then open it at the end. Could be very valuable. As an aside, although it may seem kind of off topic, next door is Christ Church, and they have a program of just general interest presentation. Don't happen very often. Like there was one about golf, had nothing to do with religion. I see that they could make they would be happy to have, I hope, happy to have their facilities could be used as a meeting hall. If we don't use the towns, they will provide resources to make a meeting put out on the web. And right now at this stage, I'll talk, actually get the material ready. And then when the material's ready, then we can get serious as to put it. I don't, where we would have a meeting is a problem at this stage, but I'm more of thinking of, well, what would be the message in one or two meetings? You know, and get the word out and see what happens.
Okay.
Well, one thing I've kicked around before is to have Sarah Minson come. Whenever I approach her, she dodges.
Who is this?
Sarah Minson.
She dodges? Okay.
Yeah, she says, talk to Steve by Zoom, but I think what I'd like her to do, and she's just talk about what all the professionals, just so people understand that, it's not just us putting out, flyers and stuff. There's universities, state kicks in, the USGS kicks in. Clearinghouse that gets initiated where everyone is checking. Just so people have this understanding of what's happening sort of under the radar. Their position, portable seismographs and ground motion instruments, all that stuff gets put out really quickly. Flown, there's flights in the air with LiDAR and stuff like that.
Okay, then,
But
okay.
she keeps dodging, so there was like a dry run similar to what I was hoping she would, Southern California. Okay, let's, own earthquake goes again. And then all these groups would check in, this tabletop exercise on what they're doing and how fast they're getting information. What's going to emergency response entities, so, but I haven't found the right person.
Okay, but you
Northern
think
California.
but you think, yeah, but
She keeps dodging me, and at this point,
Oh.
that I hesitate to
okay.
push anyone, although maybe it would be a nice.
Hard to make plans.
Yeah.
If that would be a really interesting talk, and then the other half of it is what is being done at the county? Emergency response people doing? What are all the entities involved and how are they coordinated?
The woman that talked about water, she ran through that. Did
Yeah,
as
but
well,
that was from
right?
the water district. I mean, I'm thinking count cemetery. But yeah, I mean, she got into that, but
What would they do?
pardon?
What would the county do?
Yes, what would they do? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
what
that
would
they
do.
have.
Mary,
They
are you the liaison with county emergency preparedness or whatever people?
What do they do about us? We have a contract. Supposed to be, they take over management for
Of-
us in any emergency.
Management of what?
So coordinating.
Yeah,
like-
coordinating, they have
Like
a
if you need to
center.
bring in
How to, who to activate where to bring, what kind of, people on foot. Whether it works or not,
Yeah.
the idea is that it's better to be organization, but in Redwood City, and I have been to their meetings, seen the center, and it's been activated a couple of times.
Okay.
It's underfunded, of course, and, but it exists. And yes, we do make an effort to, we of course are much smaller than all the other areas. Attention, so we'd not be the first ones to be responded to.
Yeah, I keep thinking e-bikes would be,
I agree. I
if
got
the
one.
roads are blocked.
I thought about that too.
You can fall for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so do you think the county would be, well, someone from that department? Is it a department? What is it? Is it one person at the county?
No, it's a department.
It's a
whole-
department. Do you think they'd be willing to come talk to us?
No, they've done a whole workshop, with this here last year. I think the main woman who quite well educated, is very articulate. She'd love to come and talk, I'm sure. She'd think it was, and, she, like I said, her first project was working with our staff on our emergency response program.
Okay, do you know what the department's called?
I think you better not ask me for the exact name, right? But I can, find it.
Okay. Okay. So do we need to try to communicate anything other than talking about? Or should we I mean, do you like the idea of Bob's, like a paragraph size, description of neighborhood hazards and communicating those?
That seems fun and easy to me.
Pardon?
I say that sounds fun and easy to me. I mean, if you keep it simple and high level.
Mhm. Simple,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
That's the critical parts, yeah. Really short, relatively brief.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Good work.
one thing that keeps coming back to me is that we write in paragraphs, many paragraphs. And most people are now reading bullet points. So we really need to learn how to condense.
To sanctify. Yeah.
Mm. And I'm speaking for myself there. Okay, so we've got, so this is for communication, earthquake safety. We got possible talks, maybe at Christchurch, for the community. If Pat can get Sarah Minson, that would be amazing. She'd be really good. She's very engaging.
No, she's very resistant. Well, I think the problem is when I talked to her, I want a geologist to come. And I actually went to Moffett a couple months ago and tried to explain, no, I don't want a geologist. understand what the seismologists are doing, the geodesists are, but I can talk to Steve DeLong. He's a geologist.
Thank you. All right. I think that would be helpful. Okay.
Birds up on the roof.
Squirrels.
They're the big birds. I think they're crows. but not
Oh, there's
raven.
something running around
Oh.
above it.
Oh, did you say roach?
No, no, it
Oh,
says
it's
crows
on the back, it's on the back porch.
Is it?
Okay.
on the back.
Back staircase.
Oh, okay. All right, we have a friend, huh? Okay, so next item, I said coordination with other entities. Oh, here it is, County Department of Emergency Management, there it is. Okay, I just listed all the possible committees and groups we should be coordinating with. Guess I should have town council. But just take a look at the list and I think you'll be able to imagine areas where we we could coordinate with them probably better than we are. Okay. So I think we should,
Rockland Jen. From, thank you for that, helpful emergency management. And, the number is 504656866.
wait, 65046 okay, 4656866, and the name is,
The name is Rosalind Jen. And it's rjen, at smcgov.org.
Jen?
Yeah.
That's her last name. At
smcgov.
smc.gov. Okay, thank you. Rosalind Jen. Okay. Thank you. All right.
Get a reminder that I was supposed to be doing something.
Okay. All right. Okay, number 6, organizing and maintaining. The town has said yes. I mean, the people who are maintaining the site say, yeah, we can put in anything you like, just how you want it organized. So we have to figure that out. So that's yet to be done. And then the last item I have is fault research. Bob is really good at finding faults. So,
Let's go back to number 6.
you want to go
All
back to
research,
6?
but just quickly,
Okay.
I think that's one of the highest priorities that the committee can do in the short term, is to get some kind of, so from what you just said, the town staff say that they can do something. They just need to know from us what I don't think that we have needs that are complicated. Very simple, but just a simple little outline or sketch, just what we would like would be very helpful. It sounds like that's something that we hopefully finish by the next meeting and give, or before, and just give it to the town staff and see what does it take to make whatever we are requesting available. It doesn't sound like what we need is complicated. This should be simple. It should be easy. And then hopefully we can get like the town map available so that anybody who wants it can download it. Go through me, which has been a problem for those few people that have asked me for it.
Okay.
You could certainly ask the town engineer to make that possible. He's a young guy with a lot of technical ability.
The engineer?
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking on one piece of paper, we just had like a little outline.
Say, this is what we would like on the website,
we at
and
least
here's how we'd
agree?
like it.
Yes, can we at least agree that this is what we want? And this should be easy. And then give it to somebody saying, here it is, here's our request. How can you do it?
Yeah. Carrie Chen is gone, is she? Mary? Is Carrie Chen gone? Has she left? Or is she still here? She was doing this, and if not, then it's Elizabeth who would handle this. Don't know.
No, I don't think either of those people are still here.
Elizabeth is gone?
Elizabeth
Oh.
Lane is here.
Martelli? No? Okay, I will find out.
See, but what are you looking for? What service are you perhaps?
I'm looking for the person can add content to the website. Who's the webmaster?
Now have a very good clerk, town clerk,
Right, but she's not the webmaster.
tell you to talk.
To-
Or
you think-
Darcy. to
Think
talk
I should
about-
talk to the clerk about the website?
To Darcy, talk to the manager.
Okay,
If you want to know who's there and who's doing what. She's been here for 2. She knows who's there at least,
okay.
but none of those people are here. Haven't been here for a long time.
Okay, all the people I've had gone, I guess.
No,
Okay.
obviously, we've had a huge turnover.
Okay.
We have a new staff.
Yes,
Just ask the manager or Corey. But the manager is the person to ask.
okay,
Because she's looking to understand what you need, where the snafus are, where we can communicate better, and open up. She wants to know what you want and then
okay. Thank you. We'll start with
she
that.
has an open phone, open cell phone, open email address. She's present, she's young, she's smart, and she's wondering why nobody is getting in touch with her.
Oh, you serious? It's because we've been trained not to.
That's right. So now is the time
Hmm.
to get her.
Okay,
dsmith@portolavalley.net.
yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. Well, we've covered new business, safety element and suggestions. Is there, that's all I had thought of for this meeting. Does anyone have anything else to bring up?
Were you gonna do 7 fault by Bob?
Well, okay, that would be anything else that pops up. That's just as a sort of ongoing project. I think that you finished the Barracal and Black Mountain. Have you
No.
done what you plan to do for those?
Well,
I will write up what we have.
in my opinion, I've done the research in my head. It's not been written down.
We're going to write it.
Well, okay. And
Okay.
that's putting it into a nice report form. Even a simple report is probably the next step.
I'm thinking of, you say simple reports, yes, enough for the meeting with the Cotton Shires.
Right.
Yeah. Enough to satisfy them?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So I don't think, so under fault research, there's nothing pending? You're always,
Well, I could give us, well, it's almost 11:30. Kind of used up our time. Um, I could try to say something in a minute or two, but I don't know if you want to hear it. Tell me if you do. I can tell you what I've been working on. Um, well,
Well,
okay,
it seems
Okay.
to me that what is your written down, and to the present conclusions about the Barracal and Black Mountain Fault.
Okay.
Until we see that, you're going to give us a rough overview of what you think here. Maybe we should just wait and get that down. You can send that out to us, let's say, so we can see it before the next meeting. I'm not going to be at the next meeting. So I'm not going to be here, but would like to know how things are going with it. But it seems to me what we need now written down.
Yeah, that's, I'm planning to help Bob with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's not a nothing assignment.
Big assignment. Well, I hope your wife's operation is a huge success.
You're happy.
I hope that it will be a great success.
I do too. It's time for a great success and a map to come out so the public can see it.
Yeah. Okay.
The final tentative version.
Okay, so,
Okay.
Nelson,
Oh, it's okay. Like a Vita?
wait, there,
No, a Vita. Does it? Oh, okay.
wait a minute.
Great.
Is this the person across the street from? Okay, what is, we have her name?
Yeah.
Wait, VH? Yes. At EKI? AI Consultants? Consult, consult.com? Okay,
Number is 650-292-910 at 3069.
wait, what were the last numbers? 6,
Uh,
9?
3069.
That's her extension.
Oh, okay. 3069. Oh, okay, thank you very much. All right. Okay,
She is apparently quite high powered.
okay, that's fine. Um, yeah. Okay, I would love to hear briefly what Bob has been working on. Is that
Okay. One of the projects I've been working on is taking 1906 photographs, trying to figure out exactly taken. There are quite a few, not a lot, but there's a few of Portola Valley and Woodside. Found one set of photographs where there was a fence that was offset. And I think I know where it was. I don't want to talk about it publicly in a moment, but I know the property owner. It's on private property. And I have not done so, but I intend to talk to the property owner. I can have permission, have geologists come and evaluate the site to see if I've actually got it right. I would like to have some peer review to find out, because I think I know where that photograph. And I would, if possible, I would like to invite any members of the committee to come and and see it. This is a site that's in Woodside, not Portola Valley. I've been working on that. That's been pretty fun. I've been just reading lots of historic reports. One that was very educational for me was the San Francisco Water Department wrote a report in 1906 after the earthquake, and they really document well what happened in the valley that I'm recalling. Crystal Springs Reservoir with San Andreas Lake. And the biggest takeaway I got is, yes, we know that there's the San Andreas Fault, and that's the fault, but they did a great job documenting the secondary faults that are in that valley that move. And I really wonder, wow, if there were secondary faults that had moved, then there were probably secondary faults in Portola Valley that's scary. That was my 1 minute. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So this fence that was offset 8 feet, is that in part of Woodside that's close to Portola Valley? It's not far from here? Or is it far away?
Um,
I mean, is
it's
it just
it's a couple of miles from the,
of miles?
like 2.5 miles from here.
Okay,
This is your question.
okay. Is it north of Woodside Road? Or south?
Well, first of all, I just need to talk to the property owner, see if they're willing to
No,
let
no,
us
I'm
do
just
that.
wondering how, I mean, on our side of Woodside Road? Or the other side of Woodside Road? Trying to get a feel for, never mind.
It's near Mountain Home Road.
Okay, it's on the other side. Okay, thank you. All right. Is there anything else people would like to talk about?
Time to go eat. I move adjournment.
Okay, Gary moves to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye. Okay, we are adjourned as of, I've got 11:30. 2, 3, 3.